Special voices joining us through the course of tonight's Brass Tacks. I want to first go across to one of the most articulate Muslim bureaucrats, former Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, also an academic in his own right. Najeeb Jung is now joining us. Thank you very much, Mr. Jung. We've done this extensive survey on the UCC among Muslim women, and an overwhelming number, 2 out of 3, 67%, say that they favor common laws when it comes to civil matters like marriage, divorce, succession, adoption, etc. What do you think of this large proportion of support among Muslim women in the Muslim community for these common laws, for these uniform civil laws?
Well, I am surprised that 67% is rather low. It should be much more, because I think uniform laws for women would certainly be in their interest, and there should be overwhelming support.
If this is what, and this is a small sample, it's about 8,000 people, if there is such huge support amongst the sample respondents of 8,000, why then is there this dichotomy between what the community is thinking and what the self-appointed custodians of the community are saying that a majority of the community is thinking? You must have seen the All India Muslim Personal Law Board's statement last week saying that the morality of the majority does not override minority rights. Why is there this dissonance?
I think, Zaka, there is more rhetoric in the objections rather than substance. Because if you look at the field, I think there would be support for it. And I don't blame the Muslim Law Board, because they don't know what the UCC contains. The government has not put forth a paper which clearly enunciates what lies for them. So I think, in all fairness to the Muslim Personal Law Board and other religious organizations, and why talk only of Muslims, the SGPC also has said things, and the Nagas have said things. So in all fairness, I think we need to see the document before we comment on anything.
Now, one of the things that's been a point of contention, Mr. Jung, is that over the years, from the 50s onwards, there have been multiple attempts at reforming Hindu personal law, either through legislative means or through the courts. Same happened in the case of Christian personal laws as well. But whenever there has been an attempt to try and reform Muslim personal law, from Shah Bano in the late 80s to banning of the triple talaq just a few years ago, it has always been met with resistance. There's been very little attempt in the last 75 years to reform meaningfully Muslim personal law.
Number one, I don't think there's resistance at all. The government bought the triple talaq, which was very easily accepted. And I think that if the government, rather than going through the entire process of a uniform civil code for the country, were to bring in an act which would empower Muslim women, then that would be a shorter way of going through. I'm not seeing much of a resistance in this. In fact, I see a much greater complication in bringing a UCC. So to say that there is resistance, of course there is resistance always in societies where there are 20 crore people. But by and large, an act, if it comes through, will find acceptance.
All right, Mr. Jung.